back to the rose garden. It's been about 10 days since I last posted, and it's been a week that I've been away, and I had some house sitters who were looking after the garden, watering things, but they were not deadheading, and I'm going to get at that today. The garden has changed a lot. Of course, it's late in August now, and so a lot of the annuals are looking kind of leggy, not so great, and I really have to decide in the next little while about, am I going to be adding any more amendments to the soil? Because my understanding is that you want to try to let your roses go into a period of dormancy. Now, in September, we typically have a good showing of roses in our region 8B. So I think there's a chance that I might actually do some fish fertilizer in the next couple of days just to spur them along, especially those ones I'm a little bit worried about. So let me show you how the roses have been doing over the last 10 days. Starting here with Iceberg. Iceberg has a huge flush of flowers and a lot of new growth here. And let me just show you, she's got these beautiful flowers. Look at that rose and all of these big ones. She's really fragrant too, I like that. Unfortunately, we've got a fair bit of powdery mildew on her. So I don't think I sprayed her with potassium bicarbonate last time I was out here. So I think what I'll do, I'm going to do a potassium bicarbonate spray tonight, but it looks like I'm going to be able to tie some of these up. So I'll do that a little bit later today. So here's Dylan, and Dylan definitely needs some deadheading, but wow, look at the showing Dylan's got. Just still such a robust rose. And here we have Gemini. Here's Gemini. Oh yeah, definitely needs to be deadheaded, but Gemini's got some nice growth. And here's Golden Opportunity. Wow, she looks really ruffly. I feel like the lower blossoms were not as ruffly as this. Maybe I just don't remember all that well, but she's looking great. She's still got lots of new growth down here, so really excited about her. And look at Harlow Carr. Harlow Carr smells so good. Harlow Carr is really looking so nice. I can't believe I ever spoke sharply about Harlow Carr. That sound is just my crazy little bird bath solar fountain thing. Okay, and Royal City needs some deadheading, but Royal City's still got some new blooms coming out. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Look at this. Oh, and there's a whole bunch in the back here. Wow. Oh my gosh. There are a lot of blooms on here, just a little bit of deadheading. And let's see how Eden Climber from Anita is. Ugh, I guess she's not dead yet. That's a good thing. But is there any sign of new growth at all on our new Eden Climber? Not that I can see. So fingers crossed. Maybe I'll do some fish fertilizer on her to help her with her roots. And here's Laguna. Laguna has just such beautiful shiny foliage. And Laguna's got some blossoms down here. Oh, this looks like this kind of goes down and around. I'm gonna have to definitely tie this one up. But look at the color of Laguna. Oh, wow. So pretty. Okay, I need to tie that up so it's up a bit taller. And then we've got Beverly Ann. It's got this is her first blossoms for us. So pretty, just like a pinky peach. And then she comes out a little bit darker like that. And she has put on, like Beverly Ann Clay is now at least 4 feet tall. Looks really healthy. Crown Princess Margareta. Oh, it does look maybe the house sitters did do a bit of deadheading, but we need to do that down a little lower a bit. And oh, Crown Princess Margareta's got powdery mildew now too. Looks great. And holy cow, look at this cane on Rosanna. Look how thick that cane is. that coming from? Holy cow, that is I think that's called a basil brake. But look how tall that is. How am I supposed to make that one go horizontal? It's an inch in diameter. But Rosanna definitely needs some deadheading. Here's Eustacia Vi, and she's got bits of powdery mildew, but she was one of the ones I sprayed with potassium bicarb. Oh, who's that? Hello, friend. Hi, Baxie. Hello. Hi. Hi. Baxter came to say hello. Okay, and here's Eustacia Vi number 1. What I'm noticing is there's definitely some dead canes here. And so I'm thinking I'm going to go in and really trim out those dead canes. And there is some new growth, so hopefully she will survive. Eden Climber White, who was our intergarden transplant, she is blooming for us. Look at her. Eden is such a beautiful rose. Yeah, she's got lots of new growth, and she just really took to this transplant very, very well. So I'm happy with that. And look at the delphinium's got a new stalk. I'll have to stock up those other ones too, but looks so pretty. And it looks like we're going to be getting some more of these ebb tide blooms. So yeah, so everybody's still kind of keen on blooming. So maybe I will fish fertilize everybody. And the one that really bloomed a lot while I was away was Fragrant Cloud. So Fragrant Cloud is getting a tiny bit of shade from this wisteria umbrella that I'm growing. So it looks like there's a little bit of disease in Fragrant Cloud. I'm not sure what that is, but is this black spot? Definitely powdery mildew, but there's so many buds on Fragrant Cloud, and I don't dare bring it inside or my family will disown me because they think it smells too strongly. Here's Secret, needs some deadheading. Secret has a lot of powdery mildew on her. And let's just pop back and see Sweet Mademoiselle here. Sweet Mademoiselle is got new growth but also has some powdery mildew and needs a bit of deadheading. Lady of Shalott is, again, is that a bit of new growth? Oh my gosh, look at Lady of Shalott. Is that gonna, oh my goodness, Lady of Shalott actually might take, oh my goodness, Lady of Shalott has little bits of new growth. Okay, I'm definitely gonna fish fertilize her because she's trying very hard to put out some new growth. And Sterling Silver, Sterling Silver. I don't know about Sterling Silver. Well, I'm just gonna have to do the best with Sterling Silver, but needs deadheading. Queen Mary 2 has got a lot of new shoots coming up here. Queen Mary 2 is just, I feel is very healthy. It looks great. Westerland, oh look at, Westerland sent up a really tall cane here off a lateral branch. That's great. That's what they're supposed to do, these climbers. Oh, I should pull these guys to the front. Okay, so happy with Westerland, looking pretty good. But Westerland is a slow grower, like very slow. I think I've read stuff that says Westerland grows really fast, but doesn't grow fast for me. Here's Love's Promise. Love's Promise. Look at that red. It looks like absolutely red velvet. It feels like red velvet too. Needs a bit of deadheading, but unfortunately Love's Promise has been stricken with terrible powdery mildew. So that's disappointing, but I guess so she'll get some potassium bicarb tonight as well. But those red blossoms are just incredible. Secret's Out is another one that I'm pretty worried about. Secret's Out looks like it keeps trying to put on new growth and then it kind of crumbles. And also Secret's Out, since I moved Secret's Out, it's just had these canes that have completely died off. And so I don't know if the right thing to do is just to cut those off, because I don't want the plant to be trying to heal that. But if I can't cut that obviously, because then if I cut that, that'll affect this one, which is a new cane. So maybe I just cut that and this. Better to leave it alone. I really don't know. And Claire Austin has got some blooms. I'm not sure why Claire Austin is looking peaked, or is it just because she's been moved and she's still in a bit of transplant shock, but I'm hopeful that she'll survive. And here we have Strike It Rich. Strike It Rich. Let's look at Strike It Rich. Beautiful blossoms. We love Strike It Rich. And the peachy pink. Oh, I just love Strike It Rich. And there's an early Strike It Rich blossom that's very orangey, like a bright yellow orange, and then transitioning to that. So interesting. I don't see that Strike It Rich has much powdery. Oh, is that some powdery mildew down there? Anyways, not too bad. And since we've been gone, we've had a lot of powdery mildew on William PJ, but we've got a lot of nice blossoms on William PJ McCarthy, but tons of powdery mildew on him. And Olivia Rose Austin has definitely settled into her new location and is not dying back from what I can see, but isn't setting up any new buds for us yet, but I'm feeling good about her. And Pope John Paul, I think the house sitters maybe did do a bit of deadheading here because I can see that they've been cut. So I might have to just go and clean this up a bit, but looks healthy and growing, albeit a little bit lopsided. Maybe I need to I need to find a YouTube video on pruning rose standard trees. So, and Marilyn Monroe, so reliable. Look at Marilyn. Oh gosh, she's just such a stunner. And no disease on Marilyn at all. And then we have Golden Celebration. Needs a good deadhead. But Golden Celebration puts on a show. Golden Celebration has a lot of blossoms. Now, I had left this long cane of Golden Celebration because I wasn't sure if it was a sucker or something like that. But look at this. Ow. This long cane is definitely Golden Celebration. So if you see how long, so this cane is extraordinarily long and it's Golden Celebration. So when I was at David Austin, I saw, I don't know if it was with Golden Celebration or with another one, but what they did is they took that one very long cane and they wrapped it around the plant to prevent it from kind of falling down, like the other branches from falling down. So I'm thinking about doing that with that cane because that could be a helpful thing to keep it from flopping. And Gertrude Jekyll, oh man, it looks like Gertrude Jekyll had a couple of blooms while I was away. Look at her there. Gertrude Jekyll definitely has powdery mildew, that's for sure. And Princess Alexandra of Kent, awesome. There's Princess Alexandra of Kent, again has some powdery mildew, but again doesn't get much sun over here. Let's pop over and take a look at Zephyrine. Spider webs. Zephyrine Druin. Wow, look at all the blossoms on Zephyrine Druin. She's doing so great. Putting on a good show here. Lots of powdery mildew on Zephyrine Druin. That's no surprise. So we'll spray her up tonight too. So we've got some deadheading to do today, and tonight we're going to do some potassium bicarb. I just had Matt from Rainscapes here for a consultation about the irrigation for the rose garden, and he was really nice and really easy to talk to, and I think that I'm just looking for an irrigation consultant who's going to be able to communicate with me in a way that's like not talking down to me. So I think I am I think I'm gonna switch to Rainscapes as my irrigation provider. And he had some really good thoughts about the sprinkler system here for the rose garden. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna switch all of this to drip. And we're going to do that in probably March of next year, and that's when the roses will be dormant and they will be pruned, and there won't be any disruption of the active growing plants. So, but it's going to be a couple $1,000s at least. And we also talked about possibly replacing my current irrigation controlling system with something that I could use that would be digital and kind of connect to the phone and Wi-Fi. So I don't know if that's necessary. Honestly, I feel like sometimes it's easier to use things that just have a dial. But now, with the thoughts about irrigation for next year, is time to start thinking about what is the rose garden going to look like next year. And a lot of the rose suppliers have got their pre-order starting, and it's pretty exciting to look at some of the roses that are available for next year. So I'm going to just show you what I'm thinking about for the rose garden and the expansion of the bed here. If you have any ideas or suggestions, drop a note in the comments section and I'll definitely keep it in mind. I have already asked Olivia and Abigail what their thoughts are on what I've currently laid out, but yeah, there's, I think, infinite possibilities, but I'm not going to start digging up turf just right now. This is one of the ideas that I had for expansion of the rose garden, was to kind of have a walkway off of this garage path and get rid of this pot and this pot, so it's more easy access to the yard, and then have the rose garden come out here and then come around in a circle and then come to a point and then go in to the back patio and have an equal kind of semicircle on this side. Now, I did show this to Scott, and I don't think he objects to the idea of the amount of turf that I'm taking over, but he does think that it actually would be better to have the circle of lawn be closer in to the patio. So have less of an extreme drop off here and have more of the circle be close to the house, and then have more of the rose garden on the back end. So I'm gonna just stake that out and see what that looks like. But we're still a few months away of me digging up this sod anyway, so I'm just daydreaming. But I'm hoping to put, maybe 10 more roses in this next year. So that could be super exciting, and move some hydrangeas around. I've moved the flags around a little bit so that the circle of what will be lawn is closer to the house, and then it's going to kind of be like coming in, and then the circle will be wider at the bottom here. And I think this gives more planting space up in this region, which is sunnier. So I think that was a really good idea on Scott's part, and a lot of spot for more roses in here, and still gives, I'm almost like, is this too much space for roses? Is this too much space down here for roses? Maybe I need to move this out a little bit, but after speaking with the irrigation consultant, I kind of feel like it's better just to make the bed as big as I plan to make it. And then if I don't plant it out fully next year, then so be it. But I think anyways, I'm going to think about that. And then it would look like that on that side. And so that would be the area over there where we would have more hydrangeas and then have some other plantings along here. So I definitely got ahead of myself planning out the shape of the rose garden for next year. I just got so excited when I was talking to the irrigation guy, and you know, I've definitely settled on switching to drip for next year, but I'm gonna let myself really think hard about what I do want this backyard to turn into, and obviously have to consult with Scott, as it is also his backyard. So yeah, I'm gonna just continue to work on ideas, but I'll show you what I ended up doing with the roses this week, and just take you on one more walk. So Iceberg is still not quite tall enough to tie in. I did deadhead Dylan. Jim and I needed a full deadheading. I've got Royal City and all these guys in the pergola are looking good. So what I ended up doing is that Beverly Ann Clay has put on so much height, and I was worried she was just gonna flop over and break. So what I did is I took some of the wire that I had used as a support on the fence, and I had some extra pieces. So I just tied it in to the pergola. And so I've kind of got this like wall here. So there's Laguna, Beverly Ann Clay, and then Crown Princess Margaretta, and I think that's fine. I did also move the chair out of here. I think that I should probably try and fix and fill in the little bits here of the Blue Star Creeper that have not completely filled in themselves. But what else? There was not much to do here. This is the day after I did the spray of potassium bicarbonate, and you know, is it just me? Do I think there's already less powdery mildew on the leaves? Is that possible? Could it have just killed it on contact? Again, that's what it says it's supposed to do. Maybe it did. You know, I feel like now maybe I can wipe the powdery mildew off. So took that Love's Promise. It is hot out here. I think it's like, feels like about 29 degrees. And oh yeah, this William P.J. McCarthy had terrible powdery mildew yesterday, and I again really soaked the plants with the potassium bicarb, and I do feel like it can kind of wipe off now. Well, anyways, I hope that ends up being a successful action that I can take for powdery mildew. And I still didn't really decide what to do with this huge long cane of Golden Celebration. I did watch a YouTube video where you can do something called pegging a rose. And what you do is you bring the rose cane over and then pin it down to the ground in some kind of an arching habit or around in some way. I feel like probably it's not the best thing to do in the middle of the growing season, so maybe I'll wait until this plant is more dormant. I don't know, but maybe I should just put it back up on this, because that seemed to be, it seemed to be happy up here. There, I've kind of hooked it in. It looks a little bit ridiculous, but that's okay. And yeah, so that's the last layout that I decided to stop at. So that was having more lawn this way, and yeah, I don't know if it's working, but thanks for tuning in again to Rose Garden Diaries, and I will be back in a few days with some more updates on how the roses are doing, and let you know if I've got any further clarity on what I'm going to be doing with the rose garden for next year. So if anybody has any suggestions, please drop a comment below. Hope everybody has a great week.